It's Immigration Law. I hope you're well. I am so excited to start 2024 with my first LinkedIn Live, and we're going to focus on the top 5 immigration challenges that people face and ways to avoid them. Again, the top 5 common immigration challenges and how you can avoid them so that you can have a successful application, whether you're working with a legal professional or not. One of the biggest things we see is that applications are incomplete or they're incorrectly completed. So you've answered wrong, you don't actually understand what it is they're asking you to put into the forms, and you don't actually check that every single section is complete, or you put not applicable. This is really important because if you submit an application that is incomplete or incorrect documentation, it will come back. And you could lose up to 3 or 4 months while it's sitting with the government. Then they got to it, they realize it's wrong, and then they send it back. So I want you to make sure you have a very deep dive look at your application, make sure nothing is missing, and that you have provided the documentation exactly as the government is asking you to provide on the index of documents and in the manual that you're using to help you complete your application. Another major common immigration challenge is missing deadlines. For instance, through the entire permanent residence process, there are so many emails and communications that come from immigration around, now it's time to do this, now it's time to do the medical, now it's time to do biometrics, now you have to provide this, and they all have deadlines. And if you miss a deadline, they could close your file and send it back. There's not a lot of flexibility, quite honestly. So it's very important that you are checking your inbox, and most importantly, checking your junk box to make sure nothing from immigration is sitting there, because you don't always get notification through the portal. It could come by way of email. So you need to be very diligent and check your inbox every day as well as your junk so that you don't miss any deadlines. And the other thing is, how do you avoid this? By keeping track of your deadlines. As soon as you get an email or a portal notification, diarize that deadline and get your appointments booked, get the documents in. And if there's a reason you know for sure you will not be able to, then you need to notify immigration as quickly as possible that I know it's going to take me 90 days to get this very rare police certificate from some, far off country. I need an extension, so that you can get that in writing. Another common immigration challenge is the issue of financial preparation. The government has really been focusing on foreign students right now because many of them are here, and there are struggles because of the cost of tuition as a foreign student. But more than that, even the cost of living, cost of rent and food and finding jobs and everything has become a real challenge, especially for foreign students. And they're not as prepared as they need to be. So it's causing a lot of hardship. So for you to consider coming to school, for instance, in Canada, you need to know you've got the funds available. The government is asking now that you have $20,000 to show in your bank account, in addition to tuition being paid and your travel to Canada. So in order to do this, you need to plan ahead. You need to plan ahead, make sure you've got the funds and the financial support so that you can be successful when you get to Canada. It would be such a tragedy to come, and because you can't afford school or the circumstances, you have to go back and you're incomplete in your application or your program. Another common immigration challenge, what I get a lot, is people just want to talk to me. They don't want to retain counsel to help them. They don't want our expertise and specialization. And then they make mistakes, and then they come back to me, and maybe they've been barred for 5 years from the United States, for instance, because they've made a mistake, or they tried to enter in a way that they should not have, or they submitted an application that was wrong, misrepresenting somehow, and now they're barred for 5 years to apply to Canada. These are major impacts to people in terms of the failure to seek professional advice. So whether you work with me at Ackah Law or anyone else, please, 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 I entreat upon you, seek professional advice. Make sure you know, double check it, triple check it, because you are making decisions that impact your life based on these applications. And so we need to know that you are fully prepared and you have the correct information, and that you're not going to make the situation worse for yourself. This is something I see quite a bit. And although it is our job to try to fix it and do the best we can, we're not always able to. So please give yourself the best shot possible and do it right the first time. Work with a lawyer who is licensed, who has a good reputation, and who has many years and decades of experience so that you give yourself the best opportunity. One of the other challenges I find for people is when they come to Canada, they don't realize, that there is a cultural difference. We are different in Canada. And so it's important to prepare yourself for the openness, the directness, the way we communicate, so that you can be successfully integrated into the Canadian society. So do the research, learn as much as you can about the city you're going to, the province you're going to, and the country you're going to, so that you can learn the cultural norms and feel confident and secure that you're going to be successful here. So that really wraps up the 5 common immigration challenges and ways to avoid them. If you have any questions at all or require further assistance, our team is here to help. So please stay connected with us on all social media platforms for the latest updates and information and insightful resources. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos about immigration to educate yourself so that you don't make these common mistakes. The links will be in the description below. Thank you so much and have a great day. We'll see you next time on our next LinkedIn Live. Bye-bye.